Hi, I'm Mike Rooney. I'm doing some free art lessons on how to describe form using color and value. I did a few on value and I did a couple on color, so go back and check those out, and it'd probably help you to understand this one even better. I'm going to rush along on this one and show you how to describe form on a sphere, okay? A sphere is really also a series of blocks or squares. Imagine that that was a square, like in the previous lessons. I took it and made it square with 4, 5, 6 sides. This time I made it round, but I'm going to show you what a sphere really is, okay? And it's cool to think of it this way. If I took it and started carving planes off, okay? And I carved a plane like so, and I carved a plane like so, and made it a square again. All a ball really is it just got the corners cut off even more, and then across the top also. So every time I take a piece of this clay off, I'm actually making a sphere, aren't I? I'm making more and more planes until it's round. Now see how I've carved that, and I made that a sphere by carving smaller and smaller planes until that thing almost looks round. Now, to paint, you have to really understand these forms, because you have to paint things that are round, and you have to be able to describe them on a two-dimensional surface to make them convincing to the person that's looking at your painting that you're drawing a round sphere, okay? So what I'll do is I'll show you how to do this in paint, okay? So what you do, let's just do it in black and white for right now, or this bluish mixture that I made. Let's make even more. We're going to take some ultramarine blue and add some orange into it and just make a nice neutral dark right here. So I've got plenty of nice neutral dark. And I'm going to add some liquid to it to make it nice and juicy so that I can paint with it. Now look how juicy that is. That liquid is great stuff for making this paint flow real easy. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to make a couple different piles of different varying grays. So let's put a lot in this one. Okay, that one's going to be darker. This one's just going to have a little bit in it. All right, so basically what I've got is 1, 2, let's see how dark that is. 1, 2, 3 values and 4 values of this neutral dark, okay? So what we'll do is we'll draw a circle up here. Let's just draw its initial form, and it's basically, let's make it a square that we're looking down, way down on top of, like so. Okay. Now, if I was only making 4 planes or 3 planes that you could see, I would make this one really dark, right? So this one would be, the sun's coming from this way, the sun or the light, the lamp, whatever, the light's coming from that way. This side would get a little bit more light. It would get more light than this because some of it would strafe around this side. And then you'd have the side on top would be this, like so, okay? Now, to get this thing to look like an orb, okay, let's make it really square. All right. What I need to do is I need to hack off sides of the plane. So what I will do is I will take these two and mix them together and paint it right here. What I did, I made another plane. It's a little smaller plane, and I would take this one and go half and half and make a plane that goes like that. Now I would take this one, the same thing. I'd take this one, and I would hack off a corner, in other words, of this. Now you see how all of a sudden that square is not because what I've done is I've painted facets or planes of varying values and varying, if it was in color, it would be varying temperatures of paint. Now, if I want to make it even smoother, I just smooth it out like I'm cutting that corner off. I cut that corner off. I make this really, really smooth because this is like another facet, one facet, two facet. This is right now, it's 1, 2, 3. But if I want to make it really smooth, I make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I take that and I just blend it so that it has a facet that wraps around the back a little bit. And I can make it look flat, or I can make it look round. Now, see how that's starting to look roundish? Now, if I take it and I finish it off, and I got rid of all the sides, and I just paint the sides round, you can see how this would look round like a ball. Okay, let's make that a little bit grayer in the back because it goes around behind like so. Now watch, this is where the sun's coming from, but let's imagine that the sun's a little more out in front of it. Watch what happens if I make one plane really face the light. This plane really faces the light on a round surface. Now I'm going to get fancy. I'm going to just make it a little bit darker right here, like so, and then add a shadow on it, and it's round. So I took it from a square, and I just kept hacking off sides, adding more and more planes that were facing the light, and they just got lighter and lighter. Well, they got lighter and lighter towards the sun and darker away from the sun. And I can turn this back in. Now watch, I'll do this real quick. I'm going to take that, let's just take purple because it's already dark, and I'll turn it back into a box. What I'll do is I'll get rid of all the planes. I'll lighten it up a little bit on this side. Put a little more purple in it. Look how I just turned the ball back into a square. And I'll take this and add even more white to it. It'll still be purple, but it's much lighter on top. Hocus pocus magic. I just turned it back into a square because I got rid of all the facets, and I just made one side, two side, three side. Well, I hope you enjoyed these lessons on how to describe form using color and value. If you'd like to see more of my work or see my workshop schedule, go to MikeRooneyStudios.blogspot.com.